Viewers, we welcome on the show as we continue with this coverage, spiritual leader, global humanitarian, peace ambassador, founder of Art of Living, Sri Sri Guru, Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. As I welcome you on the show and I say Pranam Gurudev, we want to ask you a little bit about the Prime Minister who spoke with you, Gurudev. He asked for mobilization of Indian community abroad. What is the sense that we are getting and how can this be achieved? It's a wonderful step that Indians and the Prime Minister here is taking.
Yes, Art of Living has been working in the last few days to host the refugees who are flowing from Ukraine to western part of Europe, Poland and other places. And as I was talking to our organizers in Europe, last night around 12:30 our Prime Minister had called and he said, Gurudev, we have to inform and we have to see that all our ashrams and places that we had to house people there. I said, I'm just doing that, I'm most welcome. And Prime Minister had so much concern, I could feel in his voice, and his sincerity and his caring for our students of Indian origin is something that, that every parent in this country should be proud of and should understand that our nation and our leader of this nation is caring, is doing all in its capacity to help out the students and children who are abroad. And also people of Indian origin are welcomed and our volunteer team, which is quite big in all of Western Europe and Eastern Europe as well, are being mobilized. And this is what Prime Minister had requested me to talk to our volunteers and connect them with our embassies and with our foreign office. And that we have done in Romania, Poland, Hungary. See, in Hungary, in just half an hour's time, we could get a place for 150 people and then another 500 students. Arrangements for 500 people were made immediately. But today, we are ready to welcome any number of youths who are people who are coming from Ukraine to any of the neighboring countries. On top of this, we have a large group of volunteers in Ukraine itself. And there we would like to say to them, the volunteers in Ukraine are also there. They will, with shoulder to shoulder, they'll stand and help our students and people of Indian origin to safer places. So we need not have to worry about it. I'm sure this is a very trying time that we will be able to come out of this with the help of our Indian embassies and the effort that our Prime Minister is doing to bring back our young people, we will be able to achieve. And also one more thing is, on the Polish border, Zasów is a town where refugees are pouring in. There all our volunteers are there and they would house them in their homes and they'll take care of their food and all the basic necessities, basic amenities are being provided. So we have a world which we have always considered as one kutumbam, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Today it is coming into action.
Gurudev, namaskar, this is Abhishek. Volunteering is not new for you. You have worked in Iraq, Syria, Southeast Asia. How different is the experience this time? And I was told that you had a very late conversation with the Prime Minister and yet you could mobilize all your resources on the ground.
Yes, what is here very important is the care and concern that the leader of a country has for its people, wherever they are, in whichever corner of the planet they are, and that sincerity and that, concern deep in his heart is something that has to be appreciated. I have not seen a leader who has had so much concern for the people, as though they are his own. And our people were anyway there, anyone who are on the spiritual path, you would imagine that they put themselves in seva, put their life in risk, and jump into service activity. This has been the tradition of spiritual wisdom, spiritual knowledge. If spirituality doesn't translate into practicality, then it is no spirituality at all. So at this time, people are willing to come out and help, irrespective of their nationality, irrespective of their origin, their skin color or their religion. They're all coming together to help each other. I had been talking to people in Ukraine for past few weeks, few days, that the trauma there is enormous. So we're trying to do our best to help our people to have the inner confidence, strength. See, if we lose our self-confidence or the hope in life, then it's worse. And keeping the hope alive, that all will be okay, things will get better, is what we learn, isn't it? This is the message that is needed at this hour to the population, both at home and abroad. The parents of the students who have sent their kids abroad, they should know that they are not alone and they have all the help that is needed, right from our Prime Minister to the volunteers of Art of Living in these different countries.
Yes. Gurudev, we also wanted to ask you, you've spoken about the efforts that are being made abroad. It's a wonderful gesture by the Prime Minister as well as you. What is your view, Gurudev, on the current crisis in Ukraine? It's day 5 of the Russian invasion. How are you looking at the entire scenario?
There is one good news today you have been flashing, that talks have begun. And this is what our Prime Minister has also been insisting, that we must not put an end to talks. We must continue talking. We must resolve any issues through dialogue. And I am also the same opinion. There is no issue that the dialogues cannot resolve. So this appeal by our Prime Minister to the heads of nations are most welcome.
Yes. Yes. And Gurudev, I also wanted to ask you one final question. As you've been stating, a lot of people have already gone to the border. Gurudev, they're all helping out here. What is your message for the diaspora, the Indian communities there? They're all coming together, gathering. Our Indian brothers and sisters coming to from Ukraine to the borders. Some of them are talking about not having been treated properly. What's our message to them to put all of them at ease?
As I said, we are flashing some numbers. Please don't hesitate to call our volunteers or numbers there. They would come to your help and they can receive you in the borders, and all your basic needs will be taken care of. You are not alone, and at this trying time, don't lose your heart, don't lose your courage, don't get into any negative mindset. Have hope and faith and move on. And I tell you, you'll be well taken care of, and all will be well. Have this faith. See, if you lose confidence, if you lose faith, then it makes you very weak. Then you can't put a step forward. So at this time, you must have that self-confidence, faith, that all will be well.
Yes. And Gurudev, you've always been a peace ambassador. There are millions who look up to you. You're a spiritual guide and guiding everyone. And on this note, as we thank you for being with us, it's a wonderful initiative by your foundation, by your people there also who are taking in these people in the ashrams and other places. The Prime Minister has said something. You've absolutely said the right thing. Gurudev, it's time for peace. It's time for talks. We hope that's the way forward. Thank you for being with us.
Namaste.